For centuries, the heart of South America has held a secret, whispered on the winds and etched into the very landscape itself. It is a legend potent enough to draw explorers across oceans, drive men to madness, and reshape the destiny of a continent, the legend of El Dorado. The very name evokes images of unimaginable wealth, a city of gold hidden amidst the towering peaks and verdant jungles. But what is the truth behind the myth? What drove countless souls to risk everything in pursuit of this shimmering prize? The allure of El Dorado lies not just in the promise of riches, but in the power of the unknown. It is a story that speaks to our deepest desires, for wealth, for adventure, for a world yet untouched by the familiar. From the conquistadors who first set foot in the New World to modern-day explorers, the legend continues to fascinate and inspire. But the search for El Dorado is not just a quest for material wealth, it is a journey into the heart of human ambition, greed, and the enduring power of myth. The pursuit of El Dorado left an indelible mark on history, fueling exploration and conquest, but also leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. It is a story of clashing cultures, of indigenous peoples caught in the crosshairs of European ambition, and of the enduring legacy of colonialism. Through the lens of this legend, we can glimpse a pivotal moment in human history when the known world collided with the unknown, forever altering the course of both. The roots of the El Dorado legend lie deep in the heart of South America, in the whispers and tales passed down through generations of indigenous peoples. Long before the arrival of Europeans, stories circulated of a tribe, the Muisca, who lived high in the Andes Mountains. Their king, it was said, would cover himself in gold dust and perform a sacred ritual in a high mountain lake, offering treasures to the gods. These stories, whispered around campfires and woven into the fabric of their culture, spoke of a land of abundance, where gold held a spiritual significance far beyond its material value. For the Muisca, it was a symbol of power, of divine connection, and of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It was their way of honoring the natural world and ensuring the continued prosperity of their people. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in the New World, hungry for gold and driven by tales of unimaginable riches, these whispers reached their ears, igniting a fevered obsession. The legend of El Dorado, fueled by a potent mix of indigenous folklore and European greed, was born. Word spread like wildfire, transforming from a tale of a gilded king to a mythical city of gold said to be hidden deep within the unexplored reaches of the continent. The legend of El Dorado had a profound impact on the exploration and conquest of South America. Driven by the promise of unimaginable wealth, conquistadors embarked on daring expeditions, venturing deep into uncharted territory, their every step fueled by the allure of gold. These journeys of exploration, though often motivated by greed, would ultimately reshape the map of the world, revealing the vast and diverse landscapes of the South American continent. However, the pursuit of El Dorado came at a steep cost. The arrival of Europeans in South America had devastating consequences for the indigenous populations. Driven by their lust for gold, the conquistadors exploited, enslaved, and massacred countless native peoples, decimating entire civilizations and irrevocably altering the cultural fabric of the continent. The quest for El Dorado, while ultimately a search for a myth, had very real and tragic consequences. The search for El Dorado, while failing to uncover the mythical city, did lead to the discovery of incredible natural wonders and previously unknown indigenous cultures. The explorers' accounts, filled with descriptions of the Amazon rainforest, the Andes Mountains, and the diverse peoples they encountered, sparked curiosity and wonder back in Europe. These tales not only fueled further exploration, but also broadened the European understanding of the world, highlighting the richness and complexity of the Americas. While the legend of El Dorado may have begun as a whisper, it grew into a roar that echoed across continents, shaping history and leaving an indelible mark on our collective imagination. High in the Andes Mountains of present-day Colombia lived the Muisca people. Renowned for their gold work, the Muisca held a secret that would ignite imaginations for centuries, the legend of El Dorado. For the Muisca, gold was sacred, linked to their cosmology and the divine. They transformed gold into objects of beauty and symbolic meaning. Each piece reflected their connection to the natural world. Gold represented the sun's energy, a symbol of power and responsibility. It reminded them of their duty to maintain harmony with nature. The legend of El Dorado was born within this context, steeped in tradition. Central to the legend of El Dorado was the sacred ritual performed by the Muisca king at Lake Guatavita. The lake held a mystical allure, its still waters reflecting the heavens above. The king would undergo a ceremony of purification, offering precious gifts to the gods. As the sun rose, the king, adorned with gold dust, would be carried on a ceremonial raft. He would plunge into the lake, washing away the gold dust and emerging purified. Offerings of gold and emeralds were cast into the lake, resting undisturbed for centuries. The Ritual of Guatavita was a testament to the Muisca's profound spiritual beliefs. The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in South America marked a turning point in the story of El Dorado. Driven by a thirst for gold, these adventurers were captivated by tales whispered amongst the indigenous populations. Stories of a gilded king and a sacred lake spread like wildfire, fueling their ambition. Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada, arriving in Colombia in 1536, was one of the first to hear these rumors. Indigenous guides, eager to curry favor, spun tales of a gold-rich kingdom beyond the Andes. Intrigued, Quesada led his men through treacherous terrains, encountering fierce tribes. Every rumor seemed to confirm the existence of El Dorado, pushing them further. Despite their journey, Quesada and his men never found the City of Gold. They encountered the Muisca people, witnessing their gold work and hearing tales of Lake Guatavita. These encounters solidified the legend of El Dorado, setting the stage for centuries of exploration. The legend of El Dorado proved to be an irresistible siren song, drawing explorers from across Europe to the shores of South America. Driven by a potent mix of ambition, greed, and a thirst for adventure, these men embarked on daring expeditions, venturing into some of the most inhospitable regions on Earth. They faced scorching deserts, impenetrable jungles, towering mountains, and treacherous rivers, their every step fraught with danger and their dreams fueled by the promise of unimaginable riches. One such explorer was the German conquistador Philipp von Hutten, who in 1541 led an expedition from Venezuela into the heart of the Amazon rainforest. Fueled by rumors of a wealthy civilization known as Omagua, said to possess vast quantities of gold, Hutten and his men endured unimaginable hardships, battling starvation, disease, and hostile tribes. They followed winding rivers, their boats often the only sign of civilization in a landscape teeming with unseen dangers. Another expedition, led by the Spanish conquistador Gonzalo Pizarro, brother of the famed Francisco Pizarro, set out from Quito in 1541 in search of a fabled land known as La Canela, said to be rich in cinnamon and gold. Pizarro's expedition, plagued by misfortune from the outset, quickly descended into chaos, beset by hunger, disease, and attacks by indigenous warriors. Despite their suffering, they pressed on, driven by the relentless allure of El Dorado. These expeditions and countless others like them crisscrossed the continent, leaving a trail of broken dreams and shattered hopes in their wake. El Dorado, it seemed, was a phantom, a shimmering mirage that receded with every step closer they took. Yet the legend endured, fueled by the whispers of the jungle, the glint of gold in a riverbed, and the enduring power of human desire. The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the Muisca territory marked the beginning of a dark chapter in the history of this once thriving civilization. The whispers of gold that had captivated the imaginations of explorers proved to be a double-edged sword for the Muisca, drawing them into a conflict they were ill-prepared to fight and ultimately leading to their downfall. Their sophisticated gold work, once a symbol of their spiritual connection to the natural world, became a beacon of desire for the avaricious conquistadors who saw only the material wealth and not the deeper meaning it held. The Spanish, blinded by their lust for gold, viewed the Muisca's reverence for the metal as a sign of weakness, a vulnerability they were quick to exploit. They demanded tribute, ransacked sacred sites, and melted down priceless artifacts, transforming objects of spiritual significance into cold, hard currency. The Muisca, caught off guard by the ferocity and ruthlessness of the invaders, found themselves at the mercy of a force that seemed to value only what it could plunder. despite their initial attempts at peaceful resistance, offering gifts and attempting to reason with the conquistadors, the Muisca soon realized the futility of negotiation. Their pleas for understanding fell on deaf ears, their offers of peace met with suspicion and violence. The Spanish, driven by their insatiable greed and their belief in their own cultural superiority, saw no value in the Muisca way of life, no beauty in their traditions, no wisdom in their beliefs. The Muisca, their world turned upside down, were forced to watch as their leaders were captured, their temples desecrated, their villages plundered. Their harmonious relationship with nature, carefully cultivated over centuries, was shattered, replaced by fear, uncertainty, and the ever-present threat of violence. The arrival of the Spanish had irrevocably altered the course of their history, setting in motion a chain of events that would leave their civilization in ruins. The Spanish conquest of the Muisca was a brutal campaign of subjugation and exploitation. The Muisca were forced into the encomienda system, working in gold mines and plantations under harsh conditions. Many died from exhaustion, disease, or malnutrition, their vibrant culture slowly extinguished under Spanish oppression. Despite the brutality, the Muisca people resisted. Chieftain Sagipa led attacks against the Spanish, symbolizing Muisca defiance. Elders secretly passed down traditions, ensuring cultural survival even in the face of persecution. The legend of El Dorado evolved from Muisca whispers to a global myth. Each retelling added intrigue, blurring fact and fiction. El Dorado became a symbol of the unknown, a reminder of the vastness of the world. El Dorado transformed into visions of cities crafted from gold. European writers romanticized it as a utopian paradise. The myth fueled exploration and conquest, often with devastating consequences for indigenous populations. El Dorado's themes of adventure and mystery captivate modern storytellers. Films and games reimagine it as a place of wonder and danger. The legend continues to inspire new generations, offering endless possibilities for adventure. Modern explorers seek the truth behind the legend. Researchers focus on the cultural and historical context of El Dorado. The search has evolved into a quest for knowledge and understanding. El Dorado's legend speaks to our deepest desires for wealth and adventure. It reminds us of the power of stories to shape our perceptions. The pursuit of El Dorado is about finding ourselves and pushing the boundaries of the known world. The true legacy of El Dorado lies beyond material wealth. Expeditions expanded our knowledge of the world and its diverse peoples. The story of the Muisca people stands as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition. Section 3. A Cautionary Tale. The legend of El Dorado, for all its allure and romanticism, is also a stark reminder of the destructive power of greed and the devastating consequences of colonialism. The Spanish conquistadors, blinded by their lust for gold, inflicted unimaginable suffering on the indigenous populations of South America, decimating entire civilizations and leaving an indelible scar on the continent's history. The pursuit of El Dorado, while ultimately a search for a myth, had very real and tragic consequences. The story of El Dorado serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to confront the uncomfortable truths of our shared history and to acknowledge the lasting impact of colonialism on indigenous communities. It compels us to examine the ways in which our own societies continue to benefit from systems of oppression and inequality that have their roots in the colonial era. The pursuit of El Dorado, fueled by a toxic mix of avarice and a belief in European superiority, led to the exploitation of indigenous peoples, the destruction of their cultures, and the theft of their lands and resources. The conquistadors, driven by their insatiable desire for gold, justified their brutality in the name of God and King, viewing the indigenous populations as obstacles to be overcome in their quest for wealth and dominion. The legend of El Dorado, while captivating our imaginations, should also serve as a call to action. It is a reminder to listen to the voices of marginalized communities, to challenge systems of oppression, and to work towards a more just and equitable world where the pursuit of wealth and power does not come at the expense of human dignity and the well-being of the planet. Section 4. The Power of Myth. The enduring power of the El Dorado legend lies in its ability to transcend time and culture, resonating with something deep within the human psyche. It speaks to our innate curiosity, our thirst for adventure, and our fascination with the unknown. Myths, like the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves, have the power to shape our perceptions, influence our behavior, and provide meaning and purpose to our lives. The story of El Dorado, passed down through generations, has been constantly reinterpreted and reimagined, adapting to new contexts and reflecting the values and anxieties of the times. It has served as a source of inspiration for artists, writers, musicians, and filmmakers, who have found in its enduring themes and archetypes endless possibilities for creative expression. Myths, while not always literally true, often reveal deeper truths about the human condition. They reflect our fears, our aspirations, our beliefs about the world, and our place within it. The legend of El Dorado, for all its association with greed and material wealth, also speaks to our yearning for a better world, a place of abundance, harmony, and justice. The El Dorado myth reminds us that stories have the power to connect us across cultures and generations, to foster empathy and understanding, and to inspire us to dream of a more just and compassionate world. As we continue to grapple with the challenges of the 21st century, the enduring power of myth can serve as a source of guidance, reminding us of the importance of hope, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. Section 5. The search continues. While the literal city of gold may remain elusive, the search for El Dorado in its many forms continues. Today, the pursuit has taken on new meaning, as archaeologists, historians, and explorers delve into the archives of the past, using cutting-edge technology and interdisciplinary approaches to uncover the hidden stories of the Americas. The focus has shifted from finding a physical location to understanding the cultural and historical context of the legend, exploring the ways in which it reflects the beliefs, values, and aspirations of the people who created it. Modern-day explorers are venturing into the remote corners of the Amazon rainforest, using satellite imagery and LiDAR technology to identify potential archaeological sites hidden beneath the dense canopy. They are working alongside indigenous communities, incorporating traditional knowledge and oral histories into their research, recognizing the invaluable insights that these communities hold about their own past. The search for El Dorado is no longer just about finding gold, but about rediscovering lost voices, reconstructing forgotten histories, and challenging the dominant narratives that have shaped our understanding of the past. It is about recognizing the complexity and diversity of human experience and celebrating the enduring legacy of indigenous cultures. As we continue to explore the mysteries of El Dorado, both literally and metaphorically, we are reminded that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. It is a journey of discovery, of challenging assumptions, of broadening our perspectives, and of connecting with the past in meaningful ways. And while the City of Gold may forever remain a shimmering mirage, the pursuit of knowledge, understanding, and a more just and equitable world is a treasure worth pursuing.